Good evening, and welcome to 5 A Day with Jay. I'm your host, J.R. Murdock. How are you this evening? So glad you're here. So glad you joined me. Today, Haircut. Haircut was a short story that was released midnight last night. If you saw the email that came out, my apologies. There was a weird thing that Amazon does with the description and it kind of mashed words together. I will fix upcoming short stories and novels to make sure that the descriptions look appropriate when the emails come out. Don't want that messing anybody up and thinking, hey, the Murdock guy don't know what he's doing. I'm working on it, I'm learning. We're figuring this stuff out together, right? At any rate, Haircut came out. I actually had pre-orders on this one. I'm still not surprised that I have sold exactly 0 copies of GRPC 2. Not surprised. I will be doing a giveaway soon, probably when the print book comes out. When the print book comes out, I will do a giveaway on the Giant Robot Planetary Competition Book 1. Give away that book, the ebook, for free. That way, hopefully, it prompts people to go pick up book 2. We'll see how that happens. We'll figure it out. We're learning, right? I did many giveaways with V&A shipping, giving away hundreds of copies of V&A shipping. Last time I did a giveaway, I think I gave away 30 copies. The first time I did a giveaway, I gave over 400 copies away. So, diminishing returns with giving away a book like that. At any rate, processing and learning. The short story Haircut, I was very surprised to see that there were pre-orders. It actually ranked in the top 100 on 2 different lists. One list for 15-minute fantasy and sci-fi reads, one for 15-minute general fantasy reads or general science fiction reads. I forget which one it was, but hey, I ranked in the top 100 on 2 different lists. I got in the top 30 on one of the lists. What does that mean? If I'm on a list in the top 30, that means if you go and look at that list, you'll see me on the first page. I was amazed. One thing, looking at the covers, nothing like it out there when I'm scrolling through the list. Nothing like it. There is another author that's doing something vaguely similar, but as I said, my short stories are going to all piece together and create the full cover of the compilation. That said, the other author that did something similar has just a plain blue cover with a little border, and that's it. I really like the covers that my favorite daughter did. I think they're freaking amazing. Love them. It's going to be great when they all piece together. I can't wait to see the next set. It's going great. I'm excited for this. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to see where this goes. But at any rate, sold copies of the short story. I'm excited. There was a review. Somebody reviewed it. As soon as they read it, they reviewed it. 5-star review. Blown away. Totally blown away. I was not expecting that. Was not anticipating that. I just I saw I had sold a few copies. Went to the Amazon page. Started scrolling. And I saw the ranking. That's when I saw, wait. I scrolled back to the top and I saw the stars. And I'm like, really? Scroll down. Awesome. As I mentioned yesterday, this story, it's an endearing story to me. I love this story just for what it's about. It's so simple. It's such a simple story that says so much about the 2 individuals in the story. It's just 2 people having a conversation. But it's an incredibly compelling story for reasons. Pick it up. If you don't want to pick it up, it's out there on YouTube for free. You can go listen to the audio for it. I'll link below in the show notes. What I'll also link to below, would also link to the show notes on. One thing, I read a lot on my phone. I read a lot on my phone. I read a lot on my tablet. I read a lot of books. And you're going to say, well, Jay, those 2 books right there, they've been there forever. Okay, I'm slowly working my way through those. Those books are very dense, but those are ones I can pick up, read through a chapter, put it back, and not read it for another couple of weeks. But I'm slowly picking my way through those. But a long time ago, I subscribed to many webcomics. And one of the webcomics I subscribed to, I started reading online And I'll link to the show notes to this webcomic, but I'll also link to an application, a website you can go to called Comic Rocket. If you haven't subscribed to Comic Rocket, but you like reading webcomics, I highly suggest going to Comic Rocket, because you can go find a brand new webcomic and start reading it with this application, and put a little frame across the top and allow you to just step through each issue. That way you don't have to go to the webcomic website and go, okay, which one was I on? Or worry about reading 3,000 comics to get caught up with it. But the comic I started reading is really freaking weird. It's called Kill 6 Billion Demons. Book 1, Book 2. These two books get me about a third of the way through the entire story that the author has posted online so far. The reason I need to go leave a review for these, because it's weird, but it's also a really good story. Now, you're going to think, demons, what's this about? Heaven, yes, there is heaven, there is hell, God is dead, and others took over for God, controlling 777,777 dimensions. There's 7 beings that took over 111,111 dimensions each. It's weird stuff like that, but it's, I mean, here, can you see that? I mean, just the weirdness going on the cover. Essentially, a young college girl gets a key of one of the gods embedded in her head, and she's like, well, what's going on? Her boyfriend gets taken away, and she goes off looking for him to go, hey, what happened? And it gets weird from there. Let's just say it goes places that my brain doesn't work like that, and sometimes I wish it did. It's interesting storytelling, but it's also, because it's a visual story, the artist can go anywhere he wants. So it's absolutely fascinating, the places that he goes and draws and does. Tom Parkinson Morgan is the author and artist. Again, I'll link in the show notes. Fun read. It's a really fun read, and it's quick. It's a quick read. It's not, some webcomics I read are, simple 6 panels. This, there will be pages of text, but there's also lots of story going on. And it's not told it's told in a linear fashion, but it's not told with your simple 6 frames. I mean, things will loop around full splash pages, and I love the layout of the art. That's one thing that draws me to a webcomic, will be the art. Story, yes, but the art draws me into a webcomic. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know I'm a comic reader. One of the things I'm doing right now is, a long time ago, I bought a pack of an old CD with a lot of old Marvel comics, like the original run of Spider-Man up through 1 through 100 or something like that. Old Fantastic Four, X-Men. The stories in these, I mentioned the other day, are a lot of dialogue on the protagonist, the antagonist, just spelling out everything they're doing in words when it could be done with the pictures. Jack Kirby, Ditko, a lot of these the famous artists do incredible artwork, and I find myself just spending time skipping past the story because the dialogue is okay. I'll read some of it, but even the old Doctor Strange and the old Thor, it's fascinating reading these and going through the art. And I'm having a lot of fun reading those. When I say I read a lot, I mean I read a lot. I mean, probably in the past 3 weeks, going through those old comics, I've probably read 150, 200 comics, and the old Marvel comics. I read these, which are the first 2 books of Kill 6 Billion Demons. I'll be going on to Comic Rocket. I believe there's almost 600 pages so far, and I'm less than 200 into the story. So I'm less than a third of the way through, probably a quarter of the way through. Excited to jump into the rest of this. It's a webcomic. It's free. But at the same time, this is something with webcomics. If you enjoy a webcomic, that's great. If they do a Kickstarter campaign, or they have books on Amazon and you can support them in that manner, go pick up a book and support them in that fashion. Most artists that do webcomics also have Patreon. Go flip them a buck on Patreon. Patreon's a great place to go to find some of these artists as well. I support several artists on Patreon, a buck here, $2 there. I'm trying to keep my limit below 20 as best I can, because I would love to support every artist I find out there I would love to, all these artists I find on TikTok, I would love to go buy a piece of art from all of them, but I can't. I would love to buy a book from every artist I know and back every Kickstarter campaign I can find, but I can't. I'm one man. I'm only got so much time. What I'm trying to say is, I don't want my channel. Let's go circle back to the YouTube channel for a second. I don't want this YouTube channel to be 100% about me. Yes, I'm the talking head in the videos, but I want you to explore other things as well. I want to introduce you to other things that are inspirational to me. I don't know Tom Parkinson Morgan. I don't know him. I don't know anything about him other than he writes a webcomic that I enjoy, and because he does, I support what he does as best I can. And that's what I want to do with this channel from time to time, is introduce you to other works. Yes, I want to pimp my own work and say, hey, I released a book last week, a short story this week. Next week, it'll be a dead week. There's nothing coming out next week, but the week after that, there'll be another short story. 10101101 for president. I wonder what it's about. I want you to experience my work as well as other people's work, and I want you to appreciate some of the things that I appreciate. I listen to a great deal of music. I play music. I read a lot of webcomics. I read a lot of books. I write a lot of books. I write a lot of short stories. I read a lot of short stories. I read an incredible amount of short stories. But I want on this channel for all of us to just come together. If you have something you love and you enjoy, feel free to drop me a note and go, hey, Jay, check this out. I think you might enjoy this. Or I was listening to this podcast and I thought you might like what this person was talking about. And that's my choo-choo train notification. I forgot to turn my phone off. I want to open up the conversation. I don't want this to just be me talking into the void. If you've got something, drop me a line. Every one of my videos, audio, all have all the links to all of my social media. Recently, on Tumblr, to all my Tumblr fans, hey, I'm so glad you're here. When I did my by the numbers count, I didn't go back and say, oh, hey, by the way, here are my Tumblr numbers. I didn't even go looking at them. I didn't even realize I had followers on Tumblr. I got 4. I didn't even know they were there. I'm not even actively pushing Tumblr. That's going to be on our next by the numbers at the end of the month. Again, there are so many ways to go and find me. As I said yesterday, this is why I'm expanding my platform as much as possible to get as much out there as possible. Tonight, I'm going to work on doing a 1 minute or less video. I'm going to drop that on TikTok. I'll drop that on Instagram as a story. I'll drop that on everywhere I can. The little, instead of being landscape, it'll be the little shorter video. We'll see how that goes. I posted on IGTV, getting views over on IGTV. I think this is great. Wherever people can find my content, I want to make sure the content gets out there for people to see it and to view it and to enjoy it. That's my plan. That's my goal. That's what I'm working towards. So at any rate, I'm starting to ramble. I will end this. I want to say thank you so much for joining me. I have been Jay. You have been awesome. Until next time.